Well, hey, everybody. My name is Mo, and I'm one of your SoulQuest pastors here at Azusa Pacific University. And it's my privilege to share with you the thought of the week. And here it is: finding faults. You know, Pastor Dennis Bachman tells a great story in his email devotional this week about Sir Percival Lowell, esteemed for his study of the solar system, and especially Mars, which we know as the Red Planet. Well, when Lowell heard in 1877 that an Italian astronomer had seen straight lines crisscrossing the Martian surface, Lowell spent the rest of his years squinting into an eyepiece of his giant telescope in Arizona, mapping out the channels and the canals that he saw. And he was convinced that the canals were proof of intelligent life on Mars, possibly of an older race of humanity. The only problem was he was dead wrong. Scholars since have said that there were a couple of possibilities for Lowell being able to be so sure of something that was so wrong. And the first is, maybe he just wanted to believe it, right? I mean, that's what his work was. That was his life's work. But the second and a more plausible idea is that we know now that Lowell suffered from a rare eye disease that made him see things that he thought were Martian canals. And those things were in his eyes, and he couldn't do anything about that. That's not his fault. He was just wrong. And so this really made me think. There have been so many instances in life where I was so sure of something. I mean, you couldn't convince me otherwise. And when it happened, I found out, well, I was probably wrong. But at the time, if people didn't agree with me, then I would pass judgment on them because they didn't agree with me. And so one of my mentors told me, because I was young at the time, he said, Mo, when it comes to relationships, you can be right or you can be rich, but you can't be both. And what he wanted me to understand is that in life, it wasn't about being right all the time, even though sometimes you're right and sometimes you're wrong. It was about relationships, and that I needed to stop focusing on what I thought was the most important thing, which was making sure that I was right, and that I needed to focus on the relationships. And his point was, it doesn't really matter who's right or wrong in the end. So I guess my question is, in your relationships, are you looking to find fault with others? Do you always have to be right? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot more that matters than that. Matthew chapter 7, verses 1 through 3 in the NIV reads this. It says, "Don't judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way that you judge others, you will be judged. And the measure that you use it will be measured against you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own?" What a great set of verses right there. Over and over, we see faults in others because we don't want to believe anything better about them, right? I mean, there's those people in life where you're just thinking, I don't think I could ever like that person. Well, I would challenge you this week to say, no, I think you could. And instead of seeing their faults, see the goodness in them. See where you might be able to have a relationship with somebody, a friendship with somebody that you otherwise don't think that you would. And so instead of thinking about their shortcomings, we might want to think about the things that are going on in our own lives. So my prayer for you is this, that you focus on relationships, that you see others through the eyes of Jesus, that we give them the benefit of the doubt, that we see them for the relationships that they might be in our own lives, and that we stop finding faults. If there's anything that we can do for you, if there's any specific way that we can pray for you or come alongside you in anything that's going on in life, please drop us a line in the comments or even just contact me directly. And until then, I'll be praying for you.